Now we just go.
Well, hello, Matthew. How are you? We're live, so this is going to be recording. And this will live on YouTube and Twitter, I guess, or X, whatever you want to call it.
YouTube and X, and we are going live on Instagram right now. Let's press the go live button.
Let's see.
Yep,
I'm not showing up on my thing here, but we'll see.
Yep, we're live there now.
Very good.
Yeah, it's about 20 seconds behind.
Oh, so there we are. Okay. About a 20-second lag?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, hello,
everyone. We are live. We are live on Instagram, YouTube, and X.
Very good. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Independence Day. And for our Canadian friends, happy late Canada Day.
Yes.
And whatever countries around the world that may be watching that has their Independence Day or the day you celebrate your sovereignty, happy Independence Day. So I'm going to pop into Instagram right here so I can see what's going on. Oh, yeah, it's about 20 seconds behind. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, we got a bunch of people on Instagram as well.
Yeah, we got about 20 people in there. Happy Independence Day from the Den Show. How's it going?
So Matthew, my Canadian friend, gave me a call this morning and wanted to talk to me about a few things. And then he said, let's do a live stream. And I'm, since it's Independence Day and I'm just relaxing at home, nothing to do this morning. Why not? And tell me what you wanted to talk about today, Matthew, and let's elaborate. Let's go for it.
Yeah. So, I've been using Odie's for a very long time, and I've been working with Odie's for what is it now? 5 years, I think.
Oh, it was since before I moved in this house. So I think 2018. 2019.
Yeah, so about 6 years.
2019, ago. I think 2019. I think it was right after Hurricane Michael.
Yeah,
maybe 5 years, 6 years. Yep.
And one thing I've noticed, Odie's, we can be a little controversial at times, and there's a lot of companies and people out there that give us a hard time about certain things for speaking truth and educating the public and getting things out there with our blogs and our conversations. And through that, I found I see a lot of companies. In one way, it's a flattering aspect to you, and in one way, it's like a backhanded thing where we get a lot of copycats that are copying our messaging, our descriptions of what our products can do, our jars, or even the labels, and a lot of things. And I just saw another one pop up this morning, and they took our wording almost verbatim, like word for word from our website, in what their product does, what it can be used on, universal, everlasting, works on the oiliest of woods, solvent-free, non-toxic wood, metal, leather, concrete, all these things. And in one way, like we've had some discussions before, it's a flattering thing that maybe we're inspiring people to get away from the toxic finishes, but the general theme is that they are not being independent in the way that they promote their products. They're basically stealing everything that we've worked for to really get people to have a safer, natural way. And do these people really care about providing a safer, natural product for the betterment of people? Or are they just kind of trying to get in and use everything that Odie's has worked for to build up this, paradigm shift? Anyway, I just find it very frustrating to see these copycat products that are not...
I'm laughing. I'm smiling.
They're not the same product. Odie's is a very special product. I know that the actual finish is nothing in comparison to what Odie's does, but they're, that's what I want to talk about.
So all right. So let me elaborate. Let me help you out here. Let me explain something to you. Well, first of all, yeah, it is a sign of success. I've succeeded in getting my mission out there and what I wanted to do. Because I do want people to stop using poison. But in another way, it's not a success, and the reason why is because most of these idiots that are making the copycat product, it's not a copycat. It's not the same product.
Yeah.
But the other issue is most of these guys that are doing this, and I'm using the word idiot because it's the right word. Sorry to say it. They still don't get it. I would say just about every single one of them. I don't know one that actually understands or gets it. They still think that oil finishes are weak, or oil finishes are for charcuterie boards and tchotchkes and this and that. And that's just the wrong thinking. The matter of fact, if you have a proper oil finish, if you have a real oil finish, or one that actually is a functional, viable oil finish, it's going to outperform any polyurethane, any varnish, any lacquer, any catalyzed finish out there, period. And so, yes, we've succeeded in making oils a little more popular, but the reality is we really haven't succeeded in that aspect of the copycats, because they still don't understand the real paradigm. They still don't understand that polyurethane's a big gimmick. It's a big false, it's a big fake game. It's a big lie.
Yeah.
It's literally mass psychosis, because you see all these people literally sanding the same crap off all the time. Sanding that polyurethane off, redoing it every year or every 3 years, whatever it may be in the situation they're in. And what a nightmare. It's like banging your head against the wall. So, and then the same people that try to copy us and try to use my verbiage and try to use all my narrative and my wording, the sad truth is it is discrediting in some ways. It helps us in one way, but it also is discrediting another way, because the idiots that are doing that are following the same narrative put out by the big chemical companies. They're still brainwashed. Most of the people that are copying us are just trying to steal the buck. They're just, lack of a better word, they're just whoring for a quick buck. Yeah. And they have no creativity, no individuality, no sovereignty. Okay, literally, we're here on Independence Day. Okay, I got my Independence Day shirt on. Don't tread on me, and that's right. Don't tread on me. Okay, don't come in there and say you're us when you're not, because it's really sad.
It creates a lot of confusion too, because I know that a lot of these copycat products that are copying the verbiage, the product itself doesn't compare to Odie. So now you have a version of Odie's that's like a product that does not perform like Odie's, but it's touted like it does. So somebody gets that, has a bad experience with it, and they're like, oh, well, why would I try anything else that's saying that they do all these things when it clearly doesn't, because those products aren't going to perform and do all the things that Odie's does. So it creates that's the hurt that it does as well, right? And I don't think these companies truly stand up and are fighting the big chemical like you are, like we are, like we. That's
no, they're not. They're too afraid. These are people that have no. Oh God, I don't want to use profanity, but they have no you-know-whats. Okay, and all they had to do is copy and cheat and literally steal and go along with, oh yeah, I'm afraid I don't want to say anything against this company or this big paradigm because somebody might not like it. Everybody's included. Diversity, inclusiveness, and we're all the same, and everybody gets a trophy, and there's a place for everything. Every finish has its place, as a couple of our friends in the past have said. It's like, oh God, wake up, man. But yeah, so I'm not concerned about it. I know you are. You get bummed out about it. I'm more concerned about people using our trademarks and violating our name and violating our trademark and talking BS and lying and cheating and stealing and doing all this stupid stuff. That's what concerns me. But the other thing is, the false narrative that they put out. Charcuterie board or tchotchke finish or craft finish or little kid finish. No. Yeah, you guys want to do that. You want to mix up your beeswax and mineral oil, go for it. You can make your tchotchke finish and everything, but don't call yourself us. Don't copy our label. Don't copy our jar. Don't copy all that stuff. Now, if you want to be like us, then actually be like us. Okay, but the problem is that they're not gonna get the formulation down. They're not going to be able to make it. It's unique processes. It's too complicated, and most of the people that are out there, they're not going to afford to do it. The latest guys that copy this, they're a big company. They're a decent sized company, whatever. I mean, I don't know how big they are, but decent company. They just copied our jar and our verbiage, and it's a jar of beeswax and mineral oil. It's retarded. So I'm not concerned about it, Matthew. But the reality is that it's just sad that they cheat, lie, and steal, and use your words, your name, your verbiage. They use your designs. These are designs, everything, and that's just wrong.
It's just wrong. It's the
especially when they use our name on their website and people go there and there's something else there.
Yeah, no, exactly. The ethics have completely gone out the window for them there, and some of them are pretty aggressive though. They come out with their own copycat product, and then they come after our customers and send them DMs on Instagram. I've had many of our users say, "Hey, this company is sending me messages wanting me to use their product," but
and people send me letters all the time. Show me, hey, oh my God, look at this. Oh, like, yeah, I know. When in the early days, it used to aggravate me. Now I'm just like, whatever. That means we were successful. And the thing is, though, I want to be successful in the arena of people understanding they don't have to poison themselves to get a good finish. I don't give a crap if they buy my product or something else. I want people to stop using poison. I want people to stop poisoning themselves. It's really sad. And, people are poisoning themselves in more ways than one, not just in our arena. And we're talking everything, food, God almighty, just from the clothes you wear to the food you eat to the medications you take to, anything that you interact with on a daily basis. And the biggest sin of it all is our children and are being poisoned. The children out there, the young children that don't stand a chance, that don't know any better, are being poisoned. Parents are buying their kids things that they shouldn't be buying them. Even all the toys now are all made from plastic. People don't realize what plastic does to you. BPA in plastic and the chemicals and the forever chemicals in plastic are so bad for your body, especially for a developing child. Really bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it because I may offend some of our viewers, but there are whole movements and whole physical and mental disorders that are caused by these chemicals that are in the foods, that are in the plastics, or in the toys the kids are playing with. Kids are putting them in their mouth. Even your dogs. The other thing is funny, your pets. How many freaking dog toys are plastic? And your dog's chewing on it?
Yeah.
And then we find out it's forever chemicals and so. I love my dog. Odie's and Buster. They're family members. Poor Odie, he's 16. He's got dementia now. I've never seen a dog with dementia before. Who the hell knows? It's probably from some crap he got exposed to. One of the bones or one of the foods we were giving him or something. You don't know. But there are all these endocrine disruptors and all stuff that are in the foods, that are in the plastic, or in the toys, even handling a receipt. You get a receipt at the grocery store. Most people don't realize the receipts are loaded with BPA. Once you touch that receipt,
1,000 times more BPA in a receipt than there is in the lining of a BPA can. It's insane.
So you touch a receipt, it absorbs into your skin. You just got a heavy dose of BPA, and it is a hormone disruptor. It is a synthetic estrogen, and men aren't supposed to have heavy doses of estrogen. Sorry to tell you that. Most you drink out of a beer can. Well, you're getting a dose of estrogen from the beer, which is it happens, man. It is in it, and then you're also getting a dose of estrogen from the can itself, from the lining in the can. Yeah. All your canned foods, most of them have BPA liners in them. And even when they're BPA free, who the hell knows what other chemicals are in there? There are thousands of chemicals in plastics.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. I do opt and try to find the BPA free ones, but I was watching something the other day about they're taking the BPA out, but what are they replacing that with? And it could be something just as bad, if not worse. And then, but they're not telling you what's in it, right? So it's like, God, what do you do?
So we're all about living a natural, wholesome lifestyle, trying to go to the natural forms of things that you can do in finishing. That's my arena, is finishing. So I've developed a finish that actually works, that is natural, that is safe, and actually it doesn't just work, it'll outperform anything out there.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, I don't know how many studies have been done, and every single time we come on top. Every single time. Even a recent woodworking magazine, one of the biggest in the industry, the most respected magazine out there, they put a hit piece on me many years ago, was sponsored by another company. And then now they wanted to go and do another piece about finishes. Well, they included Odie's, and we won. We beat everybody. Now, they did all the hard wax soils. We beat every hard wax soil out there in the market, period. Number one. Now, at the end of the article, the writer, once again, somebody who doesn't get it, makes a stupid blanket statement at the end. But if you want something really durable, you need a hard shell coating.
Yeah.
Which is BS. It's propaganda. Probably had to say that because those magazines are usually sponsored by very big chemical companies that make these hard shell coatings. So the problem is when you read something put out by a writer or in a magazine, you got to understand that magazine's got to make money. It's got to make money to survive. Otherwise, it's not free. They don't do their publication for free. So catering to a small company like us doesn't do them any good. So the fact that we won, that's huge. That's kudos to us, man. That means we are really, really up there. Okay. But the stupid statement he made at the end of the article was to save face for the magazine so the magazine can continue having sponsors.
Yeah.
I know if a magazine that I advertise in goes and does a hit piece on me or my company or denigrates me for another company, and does it, I know they're doing it for money, I'm out of there. Now, if they did it honestly, I'd be okay with it, but I bet you these big chemical companies are not. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. But I haven't seen any honest assessments of us that don't show that we're number one every time. I mean, like I said, we've got university studies, actual college universities with scientists literally tested our product against 105 other finishes. That's what you told me. I think it was 105. We beat every single one of them, and that included polyurethanes. And then also some of our enemies have done them, and we won as well. One guy tested us against everything. Now he's selling his own finishes. He's a clown. and another guy, the floor guy, did the same thing. And, he flip-flops. He's all over the place. I think he just does whatever his client sends him.
Yeah.
But every single time we win. So, and then another guy did another big test, another well-respected woodworker, wonderful guy, great guy. He has integrity, and loves our product, but he's afraid to talk about us because he gets attacked when he does. So, but we have all the tests. Now, we can release them all if we want to again. We'll piss some people off.
Yeah, we even have
we're not about, everybody thinks that we're about stirring the pot. We're not. We just don't put up with bullshit. Okay. So, but yeah, Matthew, as for them copying our verbiage and everything, that kind of sucks. Because I wish if they were going to do that, I wish they were doing it in the right way.
Yeah.
Instead of,
well, that's the thing that kind of
mamby-pamby finishes. But the problem is they really are a mamby-pamby finish. And
they are, yeah.
That's the difference. So
well, that's what ticks me off. They basically, steal everything, like almost word for word from our website, and they use universal, everlasting, works on even of the oiliest of woods, works on boats, goats, skate, like everything that we say, like no. It's just like, oh, we're gonna copy this finish, steal all their stuff, and release our own crappy version of it. And it's just not right. It's like it aggravates me, to see that happening.
Well, good news is that we're up over 30% this year.
Yeah, no, it's really fantastic.
And most guys I talk to are down 35%.
Yeah.
And the year before they were down 35%. So a lot of these guys are down 60 to 70% over 2022. We're up over 2022. And 2022 was our best year.
Yeah.
So we're growing despite all the stupidity. We're growing despite all the naysayers and all the guys that attack us and come at us. And that just shows, Matthew, that you know, we're doing it right. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it right for sure.
And it shows that we're a thorn in their side. Whatever. I don't want to be a thorn in everybody's side. I want to be a friend to the guys that are good people out there.
Yeah.
But the ones that are poisoning people intentionally and just taking money and don't give a shit, except for the you know, just the almighty dollar. I want to be a thorn in their side.
Yeah.
I want to be so far up their butts that they'll never forget us. I want them to be exposed.
Yeah.
And they need to start telling the truth. They need to start relabeling their products. You know,
that's right.
Unfortunately, you know, there are different routes to take to get that done. But I hate how I put this. Oh boy, our regulators are not always on the right side of things.
No.
A lot of them, it's about the money too. Some there's not. And you know, I've had people come to me and ask me, "Hey, can we help you with this, and that?" And I don't know. We'll see. I might do it.
It kind of reminds me too a little bit of I don't know if you've heard about, you know, Terrence Howard, and he's kind of, you know, stirring the pot up in the mathematics and science world with 1 × 1 = 2 and all these different things. And he's been on Joe Rogan a couple times, and Joe Rogan invited him back on with a elite mathematician. It was like a 4.5 hour episode. I watched it the other day, but that guy, the mathematician guy he had on it, said some very, very interesting things at the end of the podcast in relation to Terrence Howard had sent some stuff to what's his name, another guy. Anyway, it was about like being peer reviewed in journals and all these things in the scientific community. It's very, very cutthroat, and it all comes down it all comes down to funding, and
It's all about money.
there is no real like peer review. It's like you're in the club or you're not in the club, and they'll if you have a bunch of good ideas but you have one bad idea, they'll call you out for your one bad idea and then steal all your good ideas and then claim it as their own, and then like I don't know, it's really
It's just corruption, you know. Follow the money, and you'll find where the corruption is.
Yeah,
it's really sad. I hear you, man. I understand. And in the scientific community too, they're just as guilty. I mean, we all, you know, most of us all went to public school or private school. We have formal educations, and you see it time and time again. Just about every great scientist, every great innovator in the world has been persecuted in his early years. Some of them are persecuted all long until after they die, and then we find out that they were right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there was a time when they, you know, and there's people out there still think the Earth's flat. Well, whatever, you know. But there was a time when there was a big controversy that the Earth was either flat or round, and the guys that said it was round was persecuted. You know, Galileo was persecuted. Just about every scientist out there that did anything major was persecuted at one time, or laughed at, or told that he was crazy. This guy's a nut job. Nikola Tesla was screwed with royally as well. And now, you know, and a lot of his stuff is being used today, and actually some of it's being hidden because of money. You know, JP Morgan himself shut him down. You know why? JP Morgan wanted everybody connected to the grid, wanted to control it all. So now we have this paradigm of this grid of these electrical wires going to everybody's house. Everybody's got a meter, and it's a little, it's a little cash register. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. As that thing goes up, money, 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 money. Now, there's energy all around us. There's energy everywhere. The Earth is spinning through space. It's spinning in a circle. It's going around the sun. There's energy coming out of the sun. There's energy everywhere. There's animals and plants and living things, and there's energy in our bodies. There's energy everywhere. So, one of these days, someone's going to figure out how to tap into energy without having to be connected to some grid from a power station somewhere.
I think they've already figured it out.
They have. That's one of the reasons why we're having these wars and these struggles and this crazy shit that's going on today. That's my theory. Okay. Yeah. There's no explanation for all the stupidity and all the ignorance and the insanity that's going on in the world today, other than keeping the people suppressed, keeping us stupid. And literally at this time, I think they're literally trying to bring us all back to the Dark Ages, so they can keep their control, whoever it may be. Now, now we start getting into conspiracies and all that stuff, but it's the world we're living in, man. Follow the money. Follow the money, and you'll find out where all the problems are, and where the corruption starts, and what's really motivating people to do the stupid things that they do, or to do the unethical things that they do. So I'm glad you called me here today. It's kind of interesting. I mean, you called me up this morning upset about this other company literally using our verbiage and copying our jar, but making a garbage finish, but trying to say they're us. Dude.
They're lazy.
I don't mind people being innovators or wanting to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, of course.
Or wanting to have a better life or do that. But I do mind when people don't have an original thought and they try to steal other people's ideas and muddy the water or muddy the other person's ideas and literally discredit the other person's idea that may be a good idea or a good, viable solution to a real problem. So, I wouldn't dare get in the way of somebody else that's doing something good. It just wouldn't dare get in the way. Now, I would want to help the person that's doing something good, right?
Yeah.
I would maybe want to do something good myself that helps run parallel with the other persons that's doing good, maybe in that realm, and that's a good thing. So I don't mind that, and I don't have a problem with competition. Competition is a good thing. Yeah. Actually, some of my competitors I do respect. There's some of my competitors I don't respect because I know they're liars, cheaters, and thieves, and actually, in some cases, murderers, because they don't give a crap. They know they're killing people.
Yeah.
They know they're making people sick. I mean, it's no different. I have a good friend who told me about his son. His son got stabbed. His son got stabbed by some punky kids, bad kids, and they stabbed him. And to be honest with you, those are really bad guys that stabbed my friend's son. I look at these big chemical companies that are pushing out poison and poisoning people, just like I look at the kids that still stabbed my friend's son.
In the back. No
in the back. He stabbed him in the back, no less. 4 times. These chemical companies are stabbing their customers in the back more than 4 times.
Yeah.
They're stabbing them in the back over and over and over and over and over again, and including the people like me, you, my wife, my kids, all the people around us, all the people that are watching us, them and their children, because they're all being exposed to chemicals that they didn't even purchase or wanted to be near.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a leather couch right now. I don't even, this damn thing was, I guess it might have been made in China or Vietnam or who knows where, right? But man, these chairs are like indestructible. What the hell? Who knows what they have on them? Who knows what chemicals are in here, right? You get in your car, even the new car smell. Everybody loves the new car smell. Well,
very bad.
You're smelling really bad chemicals.
That new car smell, yeah, especially.
I have a dear friend of mine. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matthew. She's an immigrant from Brazil, and her husband had a little boy, cute little boy, adorable. And it was back when what hurricane was that, Tracy, that came through? Was it Andrew?
No, it was after that.
It was one of the hurricanes in the early 2000s. Came through, wiped out South Florida, wiped out our home in South Florida. They had to go live in a FEMA trailer and with their little boy. And it was one of them, people heard about this on the news. It was one of those FEMA trailers that was loaded with formaldehyde and all kinds of nasty chemicals and all that stuff, all off-gassing. Well, the little boy got a really bad form of cancer where he got tumors all over his body, and he died. And it was from the stinking FEMA trailer, from the chemicals in there, from the formaldehyde, from all the crap that was off-gassing in there, from all these coatings and toxins and glues and all this crap that is unnecessary that they put in this trailer to build it. And a beautiful little boy, a little soul, and was lost. And my friend will never be the same. She lost her boy, and I talk to her like once a year, and sometimes she'll call me on the day her son died, and we talk. I haven't talked to her in the last year. In the last year, I haven't talked to her, but really sad. Really sad. All unnecessary. All unnecessary.
Yeah, it's all about deals and contracts and money. Once these, like we touched on this last time, maybe a company starts out with a good intention and then they fall into the dark side, and then keeping shareholders and stakeholders happy. And of course, there's some companies that don't start out with a good side at all. They're just right off the gate from the bad side and just about, we can take all this garbage and turn it into something and make a lot of money, And
yeah, some companies are like that. There's a lot of them, hence the whole polyurethane paradigm.
Yeah, the polyurethane paradigm.
Founded by Nazi Germany and propagandized by Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
But talking about things that started out good and could have the propensity to go the wrong direction. I love my country. I'm wearing my "Don't Tread on Me" shirt. The U.S. Constitution is amazing. It's one of the most amazing documents ever made. Okay, it is literally the foundation of what made America so strong. But man, being corrupt and it's just general nature of being greedy and it's lust for money has literally turned our country into a blank show. And this is what we got today. And we've got this war machine where, we like starting wars all over the world, because who supplies most of the guns and weapons to the world?
America.
So it's big business. So we got this war in Ukraine and this fight with Russia, this proxy war with Russia. It's pure insanity. And we got a political group in power right now that wants to hold power at all costs. At all costs. Even your life, my kid's life, my wife's life, my family's life, my friend's life, all the lives that are watching.
And it affects the whole world.
It affects the entire world. Greed. It's really, really sad. So yeah, things may start out good and then wind up going down the wrong path because of greed or selfishness, whatever it may be. And like I always say in a lot of my live streams, institutions, just about all institutions should not be trusted, whether it's a business, whether it's a school, whether it's a church, whether it's a government. They always have to be kept in check.
Yeah, it's like they take on their own identity and have to constantly be fed, and then people will the puppets behind them do whatever they can to make sure that it keeps going.
Yeah, and the institutions themselves take on their own life. You're right. Yeah. It wants to feed itself, so it wants to it justifies itself. It creates jobs and duties for itself. In some cases, some governments create crime so that they can get money, so that they can keep themselves going and keep the police force going. So they create crime so that they can keep the police force or the government in control. Or some situations, the government make a false flag so that they can get ultimate power and control, or stay in control and stay in power. I mean, martial law happens all over the world, and we've seen it over and over and over again. In a lot of situations, the martial law that was put in place might not have been real, might not have been needed. The only reason it was needed was to keep the regime that was in place in place.
Yeah.
So, hence the COVID and the election at the same time. Interesting. Now we got a bird flu coming out at the same time we have an election. Most people need to wake up and smell the roses. I know we're a woodworking, wood finish, and we're not just a wood finish. We are a coating, a finish for everything. But the reality is we're a finish for everything, doing things the right way, the natural way, fighting against these big, tyrannical, nasty chemical companies. And sometimes they're in bed with governments.
Yep.
Hence Health Canada and the shit that they pulled on me, what, in 2017?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Yep.
And that's all real, man. We literally had federal agents at our office talking to us, me and Bruce and Tracy and one of my employees. 4-hour meeting in our office, in our warehouse, our sweaty warehouse, when we were a tiny little company, sweating our butts off in a 100-degree plus warehouse, steel building in Florida, and literally had federal agents come see us because we were being screwed with by a chemical company and a government official in Canada. And I thought it was crazy, and I didn't believe it. And they told me everything that was going to happen. And they told me when it was going to happen. And they didn't tell me the names of the companies that were going to do it, but they told me that it was they gave me some direction. And then they finally admitted to who it is. So those of you that are watching that know me, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the world we live in. And people will put on a big show to make money. It's really sad. We put on a small show to make money. But our show is to educate the consumer, wake people up, show them a better way. And we need to make money to survive, yes. But like I said, I say this all the time. I don't have to do this anymore. I do it for my customers. I do it for my employees. And I do it because I know it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So those of you that are watching that are aligned with us and agree with us, help us spread the good word. Help us get out there. Help us teach this narrative. Help us wake people up. Do your part, whatever it may be. Those of you that don't align yourselves with us, I hope you wake up. I hope you wake up for your own good, and I hope you wake up for the people around you.
Yeah.
Because being asleep at the wheel is a very dangerous thing. When you're asleep at the wheel, you'll crash into something. Sooner or later, you're going to hit something. Might be another person, might be a wall, might be a tree, but it's not going to be good. So wake up and celebrate your freedom. Stand up for your freedom. Stand up for your independence. Be strong, and don't put your head in the sand. And if people shame you for speaking your voice, it's probably because you're doing the right thing. And they're deathly afraid that your voice is going to get out there.
Yeah.
And then some people are just scared of their own shadow, and they don't want to hear the truth. So they get mad at you. Oh, that's a big ass fly.
That is a fly.
We got some big flies up there in Nova Scotia. Holy crap.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We got massive ones down in Stop Shoppy, and they got big green eyes. Did you see one when you were here?
I don't think so.
Oh, and they bite, man. They actually cut you when they bite you.
Yeah, well, yeah, these ones too, especially like the deer flies, or sometimes people even call them moose flies. But I was watching something about that the other day, about how like they have these little things that go in, and little serrated things, and all these little knives that go in. I was like, they literally take a chunk right out of you. It's crazy.
So we got some viewers that are making comments. I'm going to go off the first ones. Well, here's Mike at Odie's Law. On this Independence Day, Americans need to respect their sacred duty to fight against tyranny, despotism, despotism, and evil by all means. Duty. That's right, Michael. That's our sales manager, Michael, my brother, and he's correct. Reflect on, then act. Sweet Tamamas says corporate fascism has arrived in the USA. Yes, corporate fascism has arrived here. It's all over the world. It's really sad. You know, I go back on the Nazis again, but that's where it came from, a lot of it. Edward Bernays as well, who the Nazis loved. But we have corporations, the propaganda and the big corporations are literally running the show, because that's who is behind the lobbying. You know, a big corporation goes to the lobbyist goes to the politician, and they sell them on what the corporation wants. And, oh, we'll donate to your campaign. We'll do this, and that. And these politicians, you know, most of them, a lot of them are literally whores, which is really sad. Really sad. There's some great ones out there. There's some good men out there, but there's some really bad ones. And sorry to say this, there's a majority of them can be pretty bad. So feel your pain over here in the USA, Weston Timber. So you got any questions that I'm not looking at, Tracy?
No, it's just I just see a lot of comments.
Here's the man who served for Wolf Paw Primitive. Thank you for your service. Thank you for serving your country, whether it's our country or Canada or another one. He says, I love my country as well, served it for 15 years, but the higher upside in it have to be questioned. You're right. Yep. Western Timber has an election day today.
They're in the UK.
In the UK. Well, vote for freedom, Western Timber.
I think they will.
Vote for
Western
freedom.
Timber, I'm pretty sure you will. If you're a woodworker, and most of us woodworkers are freedom-loving individuals. England is the same. Western Timber having a lung disease, sarcoidosis, Odie's oil is the only finish I can safely use. That's nice to hear. Nice to hear that you can use Odie's. Sad to hear that you have a lung disease.
Yeah. Weston Timber,
we get that a lot.
He's a huge Odie's fan.
Excellent.
Loves Odie. So.
And how often are chemicals mandated by our governments? Yeah, they mandate chemicals and they mandate drugs as well. Really sad. And be careful when somebody's mandating something on you. Okay. Wolf Paw Primitive, public being exposed to hazardous material. Sure is. I'm on O2 COPD. COPD, compliments of health depth. Compliments of the health department. Not doing their job, breathing asbestos for 20 years. That's evidence, yep. But who's going to do anything about it? Very sad, Wolf Paw Primitive. And contact us, man. I'll tell you what, dude. We got some Odies for you. Okay, we'll send you a jar of Odies. But here's the thing: the sad truth is, there's a lot of things out there that we all thought were good. Asbestos comes out of the ground. It's naturally occurring in Northern California and Southern Oregon. You know, in Northern California around Sacramento, I mean, there's mountains. There's asbestos coming literally out of the ground. But the problem with asbestos is, it was a great insulator, but oh my God, those little particles get in your lungs, and it gives you things like COPD and lung cancer. Horrible thing. So toxic chemicals are often totally unnecessary. Yes,
they are.
I'm just looking at the different comments. Hello from Portugal. Hi. If you got any on any of the other formats, let me know. And let's answer some questions or comments that are really good. We'll be glad to answer or talk to you guys. The elites want feudalism again. That's I'm Lola says. Interesting. Health Canada. Someone made a weird face.
Yeah.
Ben's Carpentry. I'm doing a study too. No offense when you were telling the truth. Okay. Some guy's got issues with his body. Okay. I don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, I tried to get rid of that. I'm not sure if it worked or not, but yeah, Ben's Carpentry, he's a big Odie's fan too. He does some really nice stuff. He does a lot of stairs and railings and all that kind of stuff, and does some really fantastic work.
Well, I like I said, I'm not concerned about the copycats, but I am concerned about their narrative.
Their narrative.
That's the sad truth. Their narrative is usually wrong, or their narrative is complementary to their BS product that they make. So they really aren't copycats. There are people that want to deceive the consumer into buying their products, thinking that it's us, or thinking that it's going to do what our product does. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That is very sad. Now, I can go and start suing people and going after people, but, you know, we'll save that for the most egregious offenses.
Yeah.
Somebody likes to switch to Odie's All, just not sure how to use it on painted surface. I have Odie Super Oil. So, Yulia, if you're still watching, you can contact our info at Odie's All page, and one of us will reach out to you and give you some tech support on that. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's right, Sweet Mama. Women should not have high doses of estrogen as well. They should not, because it poses a lot of different problems. At least not synthetic ones as well. So, F the imposter, somebody wrote. Odie's for life. Iron Studio. Good for him. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody joining us. If there's any questions, please throw them at us now. I'm here for it. And a lot of people get bummed out and we talk politics, but the reality is it is political. Anything that has to do with business or money or even products can be political. It just is. They politicized everything. So, if they're going to politicize it, then fine, we're going to go for it. We have a better political argument than any of them. Their argument doesn't stand a chance. It's not about freedom. It's not about individualism. It's not about having the creative expression. It's not about, being, safe and what's good for others around you. Their argument is all about profitability for them.
Yep.
And the sad truth is, all we get is guys yelling at us, telling us, that we're bad for speaking. They have no other argument, no other value, no other valued, reason for even saying or lambasting or coming after us, except for the sake of we're in their way.
They have no real argument to any of this stuff.
Zero.
Right? It's just like, you're bad.
They sent Debbie Doolittle after me 2 years ago to scream, "He's bad, attack!" And they attacked us for weeks, and we just said, "Hey man, knock it off. We know who you are." And all of a sudden they sent all their little minions out there. They're bad.
You got a few more comments.
It's kind of funny. So, but what was his real argument? He had none. Zero. So, Instagram comments, you're saying?
Just a few.
All right. Well, you want to read them to me?
No, you can read them.
Well, all right, I got to find them.
They're just at the end.
At the end.
Someone saying hello.
Happy Independence Day from Switzerland. Happy Independence. Post me bomb Atelier. I would love to go to Switzerland. Switzerland's probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Unfortunately.
Hi, Argentina.
What's that? Argentina. Hello. Unfortunately, the Davos group is in Switzerland.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And those who know yeah. Who the Davos group is. Anyway, but this is a great person. Post the bomb Atelier. They do some really cool stuff.
They do some nice stuff. Yeah, they're Odie's guys.
It's an InfoWar. Take back the narrative. Yeah, I got my InfoWar shirt on today. It says, "Don't tread on me," but it says InfoWars in the back. And some people don't like that, but too bad. InfoWars is good, pretty good. Real news. Okay, so what do you got down here? Well, I don't see anything else, Tracy. Hi from Argentina. Hello. Oh, we need to take our independence now since it's been largely stolen. You're correct, Michael. You got to vote them out, and you got to speak your voice. And like I said, you need to do that. Those of you that really care and are willing to stand up for their world and stand up for their independence and stand up for, in the USA, especially their Constitution and get things back on the right track, you need to stand up. And then those of you that are in woodworking or in finishing and you agree with us, you need to stand up. I mean, there's these nano coatings out there. They're not just bad for the people that are putting them on and using them. They're bad for everyone around us. They're
bad for everything.
Everyone. I'm up here in my third story in my house, and I'm being poisoned by the same shit that these guys are putting out. It's getting in the water. It's getting in the air. It's everywhere. It's on surfaces you touch. You go to the store, you touch something. You go to your friend's house, you may touch his table or his counter, and it was finished with Big Fail Studios nano coating, and you just poisoned yourself. I'm not kidding you. Or you're using, they're using green can, whatever, and isocyanate, or this polyurethane or that polyurethane, or this formaldehyde is off gassing out of this thing here, or this methanol, wood alcohol is off gassing, or you're touching wood alcohol, you're breathing it in. This is all bad stuff.
I have the choice to not use those products, but unfortunately I don't have the choice to not be contaminated by those products because of other people's choices or the manufacturers that produce them in the first place. I have no choice but to be,
So what
the scraps,
needs to be
like
done?
you said, it's in our bloodstream. I got nanoplastics inside my body.
Yep.
I didn't choose that.
You didn't intentionally put there.
I don't even have the choice to not use if I had it my way, I would never buy something in plastic again. I tried my damnedest to get everything in glass. Even these they took away our plastic bags and make you use these reusable bags. Reusable bags are made with polyester. It's plastic still. I saw something earlier today in India or something. They're making polyester clothing from recycled bottles. And it's like you mix all this stuff together. Recycling's bad.
It's so good for the planet. It stops the carbon. It makes everything carbon neutral. It's so full. They're so full of crap. It's unbelievable. So what needs to be done is, we got to figure this out. Proper regulations need to be put in place. But the problem is when you ask for regulations, the regulatory agencies are out of hand. They're out of control.
They are.
And they're largely supported by lobbyist groups. And it's a mess. So it's special interest groups that literally make the regulations. Now, if it's a special interest group that has a good special interest instead of the special interest of some Nazi paradigm, chemical company in Germany or the States or whatever, wherever it may be, okay, that's not a good thing. Now, but what needs to be done is there needs to be regulations in place when Green Can Company calls themselves natural and safe and healthy and zero VOC or this or that. They need to be held to scrutiny.
Yeah.
And when they have a second part isocyanate catalyst, they should not be able to call themselves a hard wax oil because they're literally a polyurethane. They should not be able to call themselves natural because they're not. They shouldn't be able to call themselves solvent free because they're not. When Ono Company in the white can has their little beautiful, pretty little leaf on there and they're green and they got their green certification or green guard, whatever it may be, they really need to be exposed for what they are.
Yeah.
And if they're going to lie, they should be fined. If they're going to be lying to the public, they should be fined and actually shipped out of the country. At least in our country, we can do this if we do it right. If we fix what's going on internally in our country. Now, how are we going to do that? That's a long road. But that's what's going to need to be done. But that takes the people to stand up and fight against the big chemical companies, the lies. And it takes the people to demand their government to do the right thing.
That's right.
To demand their politicians to do the right thing.
Question.
Another thing is, we probably do need to eliminate all lobbying in this country. I think it's a nightmare unless it's regulated properly. We got another question.
Somebody's got to regulate the regulators. That's the problem, right?
Yep. We got a question. Is there a solid surface for some honest information on these products someone can go to for research? Yes, we are putting out. We got blogs. Go to our blogs. Go to our blog page, Sleepy Wood Designs. And our blog page is about 18 different blogs there right now. We have a new one coming out within a week. We're tuning it up. And these are research blogs, and they actually have footnotes and where the research came from. And, we all have our computers today. We all have our Google. We all have our Bing. We all have our DuckDuckGo, whatever it is that you might be using. Okay. You can go out there and look. Now you even the internet though, it mostly the internet now really is they only feed you what you want, what they want you to see. But the truth is, the internet, sometimes you can really get the truth. And believe it or not, you can get the truth out of the damn AI on the internet in a lot of cases. A lot of that's been programmed to deceive you, but a lot of it is still there. There's a lot of good stuff there. So start doing the research yourself. And all you got to do is put in dangers of this, dangers of that, dangers of this, dangers of that. And boom, you're going to get a whole bunch of information. But we've already done a lot of the groundwork for you, and we're going to continue doing that groundwork. We're going to continue putting out these blogs and these informational pieces, and we're going to share them. And please share our information with others. So the best thing you can do is once you read it, you agree with us, you understand us. It's not even agreeing with us. These are factual things that we're writing. We're not writing opinion pieces. Yeah. Some of the stuff, if it's in our opinion, we're going to say it's our opinion. But if it's actual factual information that we're getting from a scientific source or other databases, we're going to put it out there, and we're going to give you the chemical composition of different things and what it does to your body, etc. So we're doing that. We actually have a list now that literally all we're doing is taking the chemicals that are in these finishes, and we're taking right from the manufacturer what it does to you, and we're putting it in words in our blog. And we've got a list, and that list is pretty long, but guess what? I think it's 25 pages that we've got, and it needs to be way longer because there's so much more.
Yeah, and all that information comes directly from their SDS sheets, right? So if they list a hazardous ingredient, and then they have to give what toxicological effects those have, and it's all right there, right? So
yes. So go to our website. Go to our website and look at this.
Yeah, great.
And post me, Bon. We're coming to Switzerland. I'm going to come to Europe, and I want to go to Switzerland because
I would love to go to Europe someday.
Yeah, it's amazing. We'll all go. We'll have to take a trip one day. Okay, we'll take a trip. Michael wants to go too. We'll make a trip and we'll go, and we'll go visit our friends over there. And Europe's an amazing place. It's the origins of Western civilization. Really, I mean, just amazing. And it can show you how wonderful and how beautiful and how innovative and how amazing humanity really can be when humanity is doing things for a good purpose. And the good purpose in Europe that most of the stuff was done for was God. We have beautiful cathedrals and churches and celebrating God. Unfortunately, this day and age, we have a world that it's being motivated by evil. And desires. You drive down the street, instead of seeing a beautiful, glorious, painting or a beautiful, glorious cathedral or church, you see a big billboard with a beautiful woman on it. But that's great. But in a way that, it's more about going for your desires and motivating your desires so that you'll spend money with them somehow.
Yep.
Or or show you how you can get the beautiful women so you can spend money with them. Or how to get rich, all stimulation all around us. Not necessarily a good thing. Internet, same thing. Stimulation. Social media, stimulation. People look at posts in a millisecond. And everybody's, the most popular stuff is, stimulating people's desires. Probably one of the biggest things on the internet is porn.
Lizard brain.
Appealing to the lizard brain. Exactly, Tracy. Appealing to your id. And that's how they keep us. That's how they keep us on their hamster wheel so they can make money.
Yep.
And we're all guilty of it. Almost every human being is guilty of it. It's just what happens. It's business. And that's how people make money. Sad. We don't want to do that. That's not our way. And we rather tell the truth. We rather fight for the truth. And it doesn't matter if it makes it a harder road for us. I could have just been kumbaya and joined the club and then like everybody else. And we probably would have been really, I mean, we're kicking ass now, but we might be 10 times the company we are. But if I went along with, the big chemical company and became a coattail product of theirs, I might make a lot of money, but I'm not teaching the truth. I'm not showing people a better way, an alternative way. And there are companies out there that have copied us. And it's funny, you see them they try to copy our narrative. They didn't copy our product, copied some of our names. And you'll see them everywhere the big chemical company guy is.
Yeah.
Because they're just riding along with them. Instead, I rather fight.
Fight. Yep.
I rather fight for what's real.
That's what I'm here for.
And fight
I'm here
for
for
truth.
the fight.
Yep. Yep. You got your Odie's racing shirt on.
Oh yeah, I'm racing.
Well, is there any other questions? If not, we're going to sign out.
Yeah, no, I think that's
did we touch on everything you wanted to talk about, Matthew?
yeah, and beyond.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining, and please join us again. And we're going to keep doing these, and we're going to get better at it. Today was the spur of the moment thing. Matthew called me up, bummed out about something, and I'm not that. It bugs me, but it doesn't bug me, Matthew. And it's one of those things where I know that we're succeeding.
Yeah.
But also, it is sad they don't get it.
They don't get it. Yeah. It's
like a little kid saying, jumping out. I know karate, and he's choo, and no, he doesn't know karate.
Yeah.
He might have saw the Power Rangers do a few cool moves, and now he's out there doing them and thinks he's gonna.
Yeah, that's right. It's it's a little infuriating and frustrating for me to see some of that. If we can inspire a company to do a good thing that have the proper motives behind it and they really care, that's one thing. I stand behind that 100%. But to just kind of weasel their way in there and like they, just deception and more like lies and trickery and this and that. I'm not cool with that,
Very good comment. Sweet the Mama said, "Don't sell your soul. It's not worth it."
Yeah, not for sale.
Your soul is worth. Your soul is not worth. Your soul is worth infinite. Your soul is the most valuable thing in the universe to you. There's nothing you can trade your soul for that's worth anything. There's nothing worth more than your soul. So the reality is don't sell your soul for money or fame. The old Crossroads tale, the old blues tale, everybody knows about the devil coming, giving you a contract for your soul so you can have success. A lot of people actually have done that.
Yep.
They may not have signed a contract with the devil, but they really are in a metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, way, right?
Yeah. Hollywood comes to mind. I think a lot of people sell their soul over there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Actually, it's more fun to fight for what's right.
That's right. Yep.
It's more fun to do it the right way. More enjoyable. It's a better journey. And that's what life's about. That's why we're here. We're here to take the right journey and take the right paths and stand up for the truth and fight for the truth and respect our fellow man and be good to our fellow people and our fellow humans around us and nature as well.
Yep.
But playing games and deceiving and pretending you're good or pretending you're doing something good or pretending you're for the better of this or that or joining the club or this or that or the whole greenwashing movement or the whole carbon thing bullshit movement and the whole climate change movement. All this virtue signaling, it's all BS. It's just that. I'd rather be persecuted and hated by evil and by people that, or anybody. I'd rather be hated and persecuted and tell the truth than be loved and be a liar.
Yeah, that's right.
Because deep down inside, I know that love for me would be false. That love for me would be built on a false foundation. So back to Independence Day, you know, you have your country, we have ours here in the United States. We have an amazing Constitution. That document was amazing. You know, we've managed to screw it up and change it and add all these amendments to it and destroy it. But if you go back to its foundation, it is truly something to love and respect. And it's what gave us our independence, and it's what makes us who we are, and it makes us the innovating Americans that we are. And that goes for you too in Canada. You guys, I'm sure, I haven't read your Constitution, but I'm sure you have a Constitution. I understand similar to ours, not completely, but I'm sure there's some wonderful foundation to it. And the reason why you love your country.
It's pretty good. Well, I don't love the country as much as I used to, because it's they're changing things and changing things quickly with all these bills and the things they're putting on that are not good for
they
our
do,
country,
just like
or
we did here in the
people.
States. We amended our Constitution and destroyed it. Now, we may not like the institution, but we like the foundation and the soul.
Yeah.
You know, and that's real important. And that goes for people all over the world. You know, you got all these people migrating to different places, and, you know, someone very close to me wants to go somewhere else because he says America's screwed up, blah, 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 blah. And he's watching right now. But the reality is my argument to him is always, we have an amazing Constitution, the foundations of America, the USA. Every country and just about everybody in the world can respect it. Now, we're not respected now because we are literally the bullies on the block. We're the warmongers. We destroyed other nations.
People.
What's that, Tracy?
Not the American people. The people.
No, I'm talking about the government.
Yeah.
You know, we've caused problems around the world. We have.
Our government.
It's really sad. But the reality is the foundation of our country is actually very good. Now, corruption and evil came in. Just like the church. You know, I'm Catholic. The Catholic Church, you know, the foundation, Christianity, amazing. But the institution has gone corrupt. The institution's messed up right now. And, you know, it's going through its cycle, and hopefully it gets cleaned up. And hopefully our country gets cleaned up. Your country, I hope, gets cleaned up as well.
Me too.
But I back to what me talking about the person that's close to me wants to leave. I'm a strong believer. If you live in a country that has a good foundation, or you know, some countries are founded on for this reason. You live in a country that you love your family, you love the people around you. You need to fight for freedom. You need to fight for truth. You need to stay where you are. You don't need to leave. You need to make a difference where you are. And that's what I want to do. I'm a woodworking guy. I'm a finishing guy. I'm a guy who made a finish. This is my place. This is where I am at. So I'm trying to make a difference here. I don't need to jump into another business. I've got other business ideas that I've always wanted to do. I actually have a drink that we wanted to go ahead and bottle and everything. But I don't want to do that just yet until I finish my job here. And my job here in the finishing realm,
we still got a lot of
people,
fighting.
we got a lot of fighting. Teach people about independence, freedom, and also teach people a better way, and teach people how to get themselves out of harm's way and keep themselves from poisoning themselves and their family and their friends. And that's where I'm at right now. So this is my little Independence Day rant or whatever, or lesson. You can take it or leave it, but the reality is, those of you that stand with us and believe in the things that we believe in, spread the word.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Well, happy Independence Day to all, and that's not just to the Americans. That's to everyone in the world. Everybody can appreciate freedom and sovereignty and liberty.
UK is on.
Yep.
And if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But I would say 99.9% of the people in the world, when it really comes down to it, can appreciate freedom and liberty.
Yeah, a couple more comments.
More comments? Sorry.
Teresa was telling you hello.
Tell her hi, Teresa. How are you? Happy Independence Day. Lighthouse Arts joined. Lighthouse Arts is our very own wood flooring trainer for the training for the wood flooring contractor. So if you're a wood flooring contractor and you have questions for us, or you would like to learn how to use our products and learn more about our paradigm and why the Odie system is the best system out there and the most versatile system out there for a woodworker or a flooring contractor, which I manufactured floors on my own flooring stores, imported wood for many years, manufactured wide plank floors. That's what Odie's oil is. It is the most universal wood finish and flooring finish you can possibly use. You can get any effect you want with it. Give us a call. We'll hook you up with Paul, and Paul will teach you. Yeah, what was the question?
Do you see it on Instagram?
No, I don't, honey. It's hard for me to see them.
Incomplete sentence. Another question for you, please. Can you put Odie's over top of another oil like Danish oil?
Yes, you can. Incomplete sentence. You can put Odie's over a Danish oil. Only thing is your Danish oil still will be the weakest link between the Odie's and the wood itself. So if you have a Danish oil because it was just there and you want to make it better, you can put Odie's on it. In most cases, Odie's will correct it and fix it. The issue with the Danish oil, it does have a hardener in it. And that hardener will get into the Odie's finish when you're applying it. And it'll make your Odie set up very quickly. So you're going to have to get it on, buff it off pretty quickly. Now, if you find that Odie's is not performing like it's supposed to over the Danish oil, then you're probably going to need to remove the Danish oil and put the Odie's on. There's many different types of Danish oils out there, but I would not use the Danish oil first purposely to put Odie's over the top of it. You're better off just starting with our system. And if you like the look of the Danish oil, and the reason why you're asking that question is because you like the look of the Danish oil, but you want the durability of Odie's, that's great. We actually have our super duper oil, and we have the super duper dark and the super duper regular, which really has a very similar look, actually better look than a Danish oil. Yeah. And it's used very much like a Danish oil, and it's thin like a Danish oil. I hope that answers your question. And we'll give it one more, we'll give it a minute longer, and we'll see if anybody comes back or he comes back with another question, because I want to make sure we answered him.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's it. So, but yeah, thanks for having me join you, Matthew. Let's set up some regular time for programming. And if you missed this live stream, the whole thing, it'll be on Twitter or X and YouTube, and it'll live there permanently. We're not deleting them. We're going to leave them up.
Yeah, we'll be scheduling some scheduled lives at a more of a scheduled time and day that will be consistent. So we'll have like a regular scheduled programming here coming very, very soon, and some different formats like podcast format, Q&A maybe format, and teaching format where we'll be demonstrating. So we'll have 2 or 3 different kind of formats that we'll be doing. It'll be exciting.
Incomplete sentence just answered back. Thanks for answering. It's for old breadboards already oiled. I do have a comment. So incomplete sentence, going back to poison finishes and finishes that have nasty chemicals or heavy metals and hardeners and things in them. If you used a Danish oil that had a hardener in it, I would want to get it off that breadboard.
Yep.
And the reason being is a lot of them have Japan dryers, the cobalt. I mean, there's all kinds of dryers in them.
It's usually like 1/3 part of a varnish, right?
What's that, Matthew?
A lot of Danish oils is like
they have varnish in them. Some of them have
varnish in them. Yeah.
Now there is, there are some Danish oils that are decent. Like Tried and True makes a decent one, and I don't think it has any nasty stuff in it. They largely make good finishes, and if there is something nasty in their finish, they will say it. But I would not want to have a Danish oil with a hardener in it or a varnish-based Danish oil as well on my breadboard, because every time I cut my piece of bread, I'm leaching particles into my breadboard.
Tell them what happened.
Now, we can go crazy and just like avoid everything in the world, and that gets difficult, but avoid what you can.
Yeah.
And food surfaces, you really don't want nasty chemicals. What's
I was
Tracy?
saying, tell them what happened with some of the flooring that people were able to repair some of the polys, but they found that,
Oh yeah, so
that it still reacted.
so for instance, Paul, our or Jolt, our training guy, and he's Lighthouse Arts. Used Odie's over Green Can Company's finish. I think it was in his own house or somewhere else. And actually, Mike Phillips at Hardwood Floors Jegs as well used it over Green Can fake hard wax all 2-part component that all the little kids like to shill for, and they obviously pay people to do dirty work for them. You put Odie's over that, and Odie's wants to set up immediately.
Yeah.
And the reason why is the catalyst, the hardeners that they put in it are still there. They're still reactive, and they're not good for you. So they get into the Odie's all finish, which is already a fast curing finish on its own with no hardeners or catalysts in it. And it really makes that finish set up too quick. You know, it's going to shock you how fast it sets up. So you got to be kind of careful. So those hardeners and chemicals are there. Those particles.
They're there. They don't magically disappear. That's for sure.
But they do eventually magically get into your drapes and
well,
your
they disperse
your furniture.
They disperse into the environment around you. Get
Every time
worn
you're walking
away,
on them,
braided away.
every time you're walking on them, you're braiding them away.
Yep.
You know, every time you vacuum in your floor, every time you're sweeping, or, you know, your dog running across, or your kids, whatever it may be. So, unfortunately. All right. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for joining. We're going to sign out.
Happy Independence Day, everybody, and we'll see you out here on the next one. Good talking to you, James. We'll do this again real soon.
Enjoy your day. Thanks.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.